Aha, yes, very good. It is Friday, November 16th, 2018. I'm Micah Sargent, and right now we are going to talk about getting you the best deals and all the feels and, probably some stuff about Apple because, as you know, this is the iMore Show. Joining us this week is, this cat right here. I'm back. I'm here, and I am sad to report that Georgia and I are fighting right now, so we can't be on the show at the same time.
It's in your contract. Your lawyers stated.
It's like the final season of Castle all over again.
So yes, while we're going through arbitration, we both can't be on the show at the same time.
Are you suing Georgia to get your iMore Show press credentials back? Is that what's happening?
That and also one of her falcons. So it's that's the part that's really got the lawyers kind of confused because they're like, you never owned that falcon, so I don't know why you should get it. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Also joining us this week is Vector, Victory, Valor, and I don't know another V, but it's Renee Ritchie. Hello, Renee.
I'm actually wearing my Valor shirt today, Micah.
Whoa. I swear I didn't plan that, but that worked out.
In honor of Lori Gill and Pokemon Let's Go, I decided to go old school.
Let's go. Lori Gill, of course, is also here, the cornerstone of the show. Hello, Lori Gill.
All I want to know is how soon can we get this over with so I could go back to playing Pokemon Let's Go?
Mine's not arriving until December. This is the worst. It's like it's frozen in the U.S. border and won't come across to Canada.
I can imagine them thawing it out. And we are joined by a special guest this week from Thrifter. That thing I'm talking about quite often here on the iMore Show. Thrifter. It's Jared DePayne. Hello, Jared.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. And while you're here, we should probably talk about Thrifter, because if I check the calendar, we've got a big event coming up next week. It's Thanksgiving, and what always comes after Thanksgiving?
Food coma.
Food comas.
A lot of sleep.
A lot of sleep.
An irresistible urge to shop.
There you go. That's the one I was looking for. Ding, ding, ding. It'll be Black Friday. And, if you're looking for deals, then I think Thrifter's the place to go, eh?
Yeah, we got them all. And they're actually starting today. Amazon kicked off its 7 days of deals today. And
do they not know what Friday means?
No, I don't think anyone really does it. I mean, it's pretty much as soon as November hits, you can just throw the Black Friday branding on a discount and it's there.
Black Vember Fest. Black Vember Fest.
Yeah.
Black Vember.
It definitely, someone needs to teach them what 24-hour period of a day is.
More saving. I know it's hard work for you guys, but more savings, please.
Yes. I mean, it does make, holiday shopping easy because by this time every year I'm already done with my entire list. I start, at the beginning of November, like clockwork every year now. I'm like, when I see it on sale, I just buy it because
somebody will
worth waiting.
I just went over to the Thrifter site right now, and it was probably a big mistake because I don't want to buy anything for anybody. I want this all for myself. And there's some really good deals over here right now. These Black Friday deals are insane.
Well, see, that's the thing. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, this is all happening in November. This isn't Christmas, folks. That's when you get gifts for other people. Yeah. We're in November. This is
so technically we're still getting
guilt-free self-care.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
So tell us a little bit. This is an Apple, for the most part, an Apple tech focused show. And folks listening, either have Apple products, are interested in getting new Apple products, have heard us talk about some things that they might want. What are some of the deals that Thrifter has either spotted or are tracking that have to do with Apple products?
Yeah, normally there's not a whole lot when it comes to Apple products. Apple doesn't generally participate in Black Friday like conventional retailers do. They do offer like some gift cards with purchases. So for the high-end purchases, it's a little bit extra back for that, but we are seeing some actual like substantial discounts that people will want to pay attention to. Probably the craziest one that we've seen that's upcoming is the Apple HomePod is going to be discounted by $100 at Best Buy, which is
I feel like
I
Jake
know.
Peralta all of a sudden. What? No. What? No. What? No.
Renee just
saved
ordered
me.
4 more.
I know. I like.
You're joking, but I'm hitting them.
I already have 2, and now I have a reason to get 2 more. So
You only have 2 in one room.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
and I could totally see having another one and finally doing that stereo pair for my television.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yes.
$250 is an insane price for a $100 discount, like on any Apple product. Like we get excited when we see a $100 discount on like the MacBook and the MacBook Air, let alone on a product that for $350 going to be a big mover. We actually already saw B&H lower the price. They did a price drop at midnight the other night, and we sent it out to all of our readers and people who've signed up for our mailing list, hint, hint. And within just a couple hours, it sold out the allotment that they had at that price. It was by 4 a.m., I believe. So it lasted only for 3 or 4 hours that we know of that the deal is available at $100 off. So,
wow.
If you're interested, Best Buy probably also has a somewhat limited stock, though probably bigger than B&H, but it will be something that you'll want to be paying attention to. If that's something that you must have as a holiday gift, you want to save that $100.
So how does that work? So there was a sale in B&H, and the thrifter caught wind that this big sale was happening, and they send out an email right when they know that it's going to happen or that it's currently happening. And then as a thrifter follower of the newsletter, do I just click right through from the email that you send out?
Yeah, so we make it as frictionless as possible. So the links that were included in the email take you literally right to the B&H website, and you're able to just add it to your cart and check out. So as soon as you see it pop through in your email, you could be checking out within minutes of that time instead of like searching for it and doing all that stuff. So definitely want to be subscribed to that email.
Yeah, that's
right now.
So it doesn't even go to Thrifter's website first where you read about it. It just goes directly to the sale. That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, we've write it in those emails so that if it's something that you're unsure of, there's additional information provided as well. So if you're not really familiar with what the HomePod is, there was information about what the HomePod is, some additional resources like the iMore review and that kind of stuff is also in the email. But for those that know that they want it, there's a quick and easy way to buy every time.
Nice.
So the best way then for folks who are looking to get in on those deals, would you say it's equal on following you on Twitter and going via email, or would you say email actually gets more?
It's a split. If you're going to be following on social, you'll see the deal. You'll see all of the deals, and the email we tend to curate a little bit more.
Okay.
So they could be more product specific in the inbox versus what we posted on the website, especially. I'm going to tell you, I think last year we posted like in the ballpark of 600 deals in that couple of days. So obviously you're not going to get every one of those in your inbox, but our Twitter feed does have every single one of those in real time. So it's probably a combination of both. Follow the Twitter feed so you can see it in the moment. And then the email is a great recap or for the times where you're not actively following the Twitter account to be able to see the deals that we've posted.
That definitely makes sense. So it sounds like, if you're looking for kind of the best of the best of the best, then go ahead and go via email, via the newsletter. If you're looking for as many deals as possible, then follow on Twitter. And if you sort of aren't, always on Twitter, then you could follow both and get, the best of the best of the best sent to your email, and then get those quick deals via Twitter. Now, one thing that I want to talk about here, I just recently, sort of not on any deal or anything like that, finally, thank you, bought an Instant Pot. And it is genuinely the best thing I've ever brought into my house in all of life.
I keep hearing about this. What is this, Micah Sargent?
Okay, so an Instant Pot, it's a modern day pressure cooker. It is a pressure cooker made made, easier to use. I would say better branded. Like all of these things go into this device kind of being this holy grail tool. All you need to know is you can cook rice from dry to cooked in 12 minutes. In 12 minutes. It's ridiculous. So I recently was diagnosed with gluten intolerance. And so there are a lot of foods out there that I can't eat. And during the week, most of the time, what I eat for like lunch and dinner is some variation on rice and beans. I take a can of beans, or like 2 cans of beans, dump it into the pot, add in 2 cups of rice, throw in some water, hit the button, and 15 minutes later, I've got like 2 days worth of meals right there in the Instant Pot. In 15 friggin' minutes. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
I love this thing. I've made a delicious stew in it. I've made like a weird, it was a dessert. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Like, this thing is so versatile and can make so many different kinds of things. It's awesome. And Jared, it looks like there are going to be likely some upcoming deals for the Instant Pot.
Yeah, so we've seen all the different sizes at various retailers. Probably if you're interested in Instant Pot, Amazon is usually your best bet because they have the widest selection of them. But it does look like all of them will be marked down to the lowest prices that we've ever seen on them, which is awesome.
What is the, like, what percentage is that about? Like, it's never been marked down to 30% or 20%?
Yeah, it depends on each model, but they will be probably as low as $40 to $50 for the smaller ones.
Wow.
So, like, yeah, I mean, you're talking like conventional crock pot style pricing on the latest and the greatest. And like Micah was saying, they have a whole line of accessories that you can buy with it as well. You can get accessories for like cooking the perfect egg. You can get accessories for cooking all types of different things in it. And they have a huge following, and there's tons of recipe books as well and free resources out there. So that's like always been one of the most popular Black Friday deals that we've ever posted about, is every time that it goes on sale, people just buy them. And generally there's a lot of stock, so you don't have to worry too much about it lasting for only a short period of time.
And are the accessories, have you heard any musings about whether or not the accessories will go on sale too?
Yeah, the Instant Pot themselves just released a sous vide recently, and it was...
What? They did?
Yeah, and I believe that it retails for $80, and it was on sale this past week for $60. So, I mean, that's another huge chunk of change. And usually we do see discounts. They vary depending what you're looking for, but you'll probably find a decent amount of discounts on the accessories too. Nice. And then also when you factor in the huge savings on the machine up front, it makes it a little easier to buy those accessories that you want.
Or if you have a family member, I'm sure if my mother's listening right now, she now knows what I'll be getting her for Christmas. If you have a family member that already has one, then you can just stock up on accessories for them for Christmas too.
Honestly,
yeah, there's a ton.
If you eat rice more than like, I don't know, twice a month or something, first of all, don't buy instant rice. Don't buy rice that's already pre-cooked and it comes in a bag. Ugh. This is your way to getting that like delicious, I love brown rice, getting that delicious brown rice that usually takes like 45 minutes to an hour to cook on the stove or something like that. In 15 minutes.
And can we just address, once again, English is a terrible language because there is no gluten in glutinous rice. It's from the glue meaning sticky, not the glue meaning gluten from wheat. It's just such a confusing language.
It's very confusing.
We're the worst.
Yes. And again, like there's so many other things you can make. You can treat it like it's a slow cooker, and there are slow cooker settings. I just saw someone the other day talking about, you will not be sad if you go to the store and get like in the deli area pre-marinated like chicken breast, toss it into your Instant Pot, use the meat setting, and it will be the best, most tender, most delicious marinated food that you've had. Genuinely, this thing can do it all, and I've not been more pleased with like an appliance purchase in ages. So
if Instant Pot is listening to this podcast right now, clearly we would like to be sponsored by you.
You should sponsor us. I'll talk about you for hours if you let me.
Oh my God, the Micah started an Instapot cooking channel. Make it happen.
Yeah. But you know, Micah, you're not
Potting with
alone. Micah, you're not alone. Every single person I know that has an Instapot talks the same way that you do about the gloriousness of this product. And I've been holding out. I will ask my friends and family, like, what is it? How does it work? What makes it so special? And then I finish that with, don't buy me one. I don't want one. I just want to know why you think it's so great. And I think I might be at the point now where I might just have to go ahead and get one.
I was a holdout for so long too, and finally, it was my boyfriend that convinced me that I had to have one. And like I said, once, because even after I bought it, like the first day, I was going, okay, so what's so special about this thing? But then as I've made things in it and just seen how simple it is to just have my meals figured out, that's what makes it like worthwhile to me. Is I'm just like, I don't have to prepare 45 minutes to an hour in my schedule to figure it out. It's just like, oh, just toss that in, it'll be done. And it keeps warm too, so like you don't have to immediately go back to it after it's been cooked. You can come back to it whenever, and it's got a keep warm function. You can saute in the doggone thing. It's fantastic.
Okay, so
something else.
Yeah, so let's go back to talking about a couple more of the Apple specific, like actual Apple products, Apple branded products.
I can't hear you because I'm busy ordering AirPods for everybody.
I wanted to mention that. Jared, where did you find out about AirPods being on sale?
Actually, that's not even a Black Friday specific deal, but there are noting AirPods in their ads, and a lot of them are listing them at the full $159 price. And just in shopping this year, I've noticed that they are everywhere that you look. Every time I go into Target, there's 40 pairs of them there to buy, which is a huge change from where we were even 6 months ago, where you're waiting forever, it felt like, to get them.
Tim Cook put them together personally on every supply line.
Yeah, exactly. And Amazon has been selling them for about 2 or 3 months at this point when they're in stock at $145, which, while not a huge discount, that extra discount does come in handy. So about $15 off, and they're one of the few places. eBay tried to say that they were having the best deal, and they had them at $149, which is not a bad deal. And then Best Buy sells them on occasion for $120 in a certified refurbished condition, which, if price is the determining factor, certified refurbished stuff is definitely a good way to get that cost down a little bit more and still have a great product.
You could fill an Instapot with them at that rate.
Yeah.
And Amazon and Apple are playing nice now, which is great for people who do have Prime and do want to order through Amazon.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think right now we still haven't seen very many Apple products on Amazon.
But it's growing.
It's gonna happen soon, and if it happens,
it's growing like my Christmas spirit.
If it happens before Black Friday, and then there's a bunch of Apple things on Amazon on sale on Black Friday, that'll be pretty intense for us Apple fans. Yeah, exactly what Renee is doing.
That extra resource.
Yeah,
I'm dancing. And there's Apple Watches too. I'm sorry, Lori, I'm stepping all over you. I apologize. But I'm going through this list.
Yeah, you're just commenting on exactly what I was going to comment on. So you're doing great.
The Series 3 is going to be $80 off at Best Buy. And, while everyone may say, oh, well, the Series 4 is the hotness, and it is, but not everyone is looking to spend that much. And the pricing will be down for the 38 millimeter down to, I believe it's $199 it starts at, which is just like, $200 is a great price for what you're getting from the Series 3, which is still like a very competent version of the Apple Watch at this point.
The Series 3, if not for the fact that the Series 4 exists, the Series 3 is absolutely a fantastic watch. And $199 is like the price you would expect to pay for a Series 1 or Series 2 at best.
Yeah,
or Fitbit.
Exactly.
And Series 3 is really, really good. It's only just because Series 4 has a bigger display and a faster processor and stuff, but really Series 3 is I would.
It's a very good watch still.
Anyone in my family, if they were like, which one should I get, and money is a factor, I would say Series 3 hands down. Don't even go on eBay.
Band on it.
Oh, Renee, I was gonna do my unboxing.
Oh, you got yours?
I did. I was gonna surprise everyone and do my unboxing, but you just ruined my surprise.
I cheated. I got sent one, so it's not fair. You totally own that.
Yeah, Lori's, that's hers. It's a very rich red for
It's
listeners
pretty.
of the iMore show who didn't see that.
Micah's
it's
blinded
rich
now
red.
for a good 3 minutes.
Oh, it's gorgeous, man. So let's talk about something else. This is a coveted product, I would say, as well, and one that, you know, it's not a necessity, but some people really like the idea of not having to, especially if you have pets, vacuum your house. There's a Roomba that's got a good sale, huh?
Yeah, the 675, and there's a bunch of Roomba models, and there's actually a bunch of them on sale right now. And they come with like a variety of features and stuff. But like you said, the pets thing is a huge one, and the ability to schedule these things to run at a time that's convenient for you. We have a different brand RoboVac, and we have it set to run at 5 a.m. every day. So we have 2 cats, and they create their little mess when they're playing every morning on the hardwood floor. So before we even come downstairs, that mess is already off of the floor. And you walk downstairs and it's clean when you get down there, and we have it set. It just runs when we want it to run, or we can set it to run. You can set it to stay out of certain areas or only do certain areas. They are super handy, and at $200, I mean,
lives in a house with robots. That's just so cool.
Oh yeah,
I love mine. I think I can't remember. I've got a different brand one as well. And yeah, one of my dogs has 2 coats. He's got he's got a wiry coat and then an undercoat that is very soft and loves to get everywhere. And I'm surprised every time when when it comes time to like empty out the little vacuum cleaner, and I'm like, I didn't even know that it was possible to have, like, I didn't see this hair anywhere on the floor and on the carpet, but yet it was there, and thank God it's getting swept up. So they're super handy if you have a pet, but I think they're super handy if you don't, because most of the time, unless you're like super into vacuuming, you're not going to be vacuuming, all that frequently. And this just makes it so you don't even have to worry about it.
And honestly, we humans aren't that clean either. The pets are looking at us going, oh, damn.
Yeah. Like, what about your hair you've got all over the floor? Yeah. What about your dead skin cells everywhere?
I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so many good deals. I'm excited about the Ring video doorbell. I have the 1st gen. The 2nd gen is now on sale, so that seems like it's going to be a good price.
Yeah, we saw it drop down this week for a couple hours down to that 140 mark, and we don't know if it was like an error or anything, but that's $60 off, and then a bunch of retailers are including the latest generation Echo Dot, which is another $50 value. So you're talking like $110 in savings here. And the Video Doorbell 2 offers the 1080p video, which is a step up over the other one, and it doesn't need to be hardwired. So you can use the rechargeable battery, or you can hardwire it into your house if you have a situation where that's an available option.
And
but at that price,
Micah pointed out that if you already have a Dot or just don't need a Dot, that's a good Christmas present right there.
Yeah. Exactly, that you get it for free. So whether you want to use it to do that or it's of no use to you, someone else is going to want it. And like what some people don't think about with these Black Friday deals, what makes it even better another way is like sell it. If you don't have a use for it, it was free to you, you sell it. Even if you make back $20, that brought down the cost of your initial investment to $120. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Or you pack it inside a snowball and then you make sure those kids know who's Christmas boss.
Yes. You do that too.
I didn't say that out loud. Please don't jurisdiction me.
Where's Georgia? She needs to put you in your place.
Yeah.
She's busy watching Elf. There's no help for me.
My favorite, and this is for multiple reasons, or actually it's a multi-step reason why I think that this is the best discount. The one Apple discount that we do see every year is in iTunes gift cards. Yeah. And Renee, you had Dan De Silva on your show last week talking about what's great. It's the discount on the iTunes cards itself are not always that big, 10 to 15%. Well, I mean, that's okay. That's a decent
up to
discount.
20 this year, I think.
Which is even better. So
yeah.
That's great. But what's even better is that app developers and game developers around this time of year have their own Black Friday sales. So you get those discounted cards. So you're getting, 20% off on each dollar that you spend at the most. Plus, you can get huge discounts on these apps and games, 50%, 60%, 75%. Sometimes very expensive games and apps go free for Black Friday that day. So you're getting double. I think, Renee, you called it double dipping the discount. And
I think feels illegal, right?
Yeah. It almost seems like
the iTunes stuff went on sale. I think it went on sale in the US today. I saw people like grabbing The Office for ridiculously low prices. And then you save 20% on top of that. And it feels like a crime.
Yeah, it's those one of the most popular things. And anytime you can get a gift card at a discount, it's like free money in your pocket. So especially when it comes to this, because those gift cards are so versatile. You can use it for those apps, you can use it for movies, you can use it for media, but you can also use it for all of your subscriptions.
It's so great.
Like your Apple Music just became that much more affordable, everything, and you can stack them too. So there's oftentimes like limits per retailer, but when multiple retailers are doing this, you can load up a card from each retailer and then load that into your iTunes account and then use that money to get you through the next year of your subscription or your apps and not have to worry about it. There's nothing better than that.
So good.
I'd like to find the person who probably stacks up all of the iTunes gift cards and gets like $1,000 worth of iTunes gift cards for a few $100s and then just like uses them throughout the year. I'm sure there's somebody out there who does
card
that.
To buy the discounted iTunes card,
yes!
And then you buy the discounted iTunes stuff with it. And
Yep.
Apple ends up owing you money at the end of the trip.
It's like that TV show where they're like coupon clipping
Extreme couponing.
Yeah, that's what this is practically.
Yeah, it's great though. You can't go wrong when it comes to those, and a lot of times they're online offers. Very few times you have to actually go to a store to redeem it. You get the card delivered to you anywhere from 1 to 24 hours after your purchase, and you redeem it right online, and you're in business. So do it from the comfort of your own home, in your bed, in your pajamas, whatever, and you save some money all around.
Amazing. And you have an Instapot, so you don't even have to leave the house.
Yeah, you just set the Instant Pot to keep your food warm for the whole day.
Yeah. I can already see Micah's Black Friday. It's like it's just painted in front of me right now.
Yeah, it's all figured out.
He's got his Roomba cleaning his dog's hair off the ground while he's eating his beans and rice from his Instapot. I think
Henry rides on the Roomba though. It's like his little chariot.
If I could get him to do that, because he's a lot chiller than my other one, but he's not that chill, unfortunately.
Okay. My chatting at the weights.
Anything else here with Thrifter and Black Friday that we should know about?
Like I said earlier, the deals are already in full swing. So we are posting tons and tons and tons of deal around the clock starting this morning, basically, and running through the whole shopping event. So thrifter.com will be constantly updated with not only tech deals, but if you're looking for anything else for your house besides an Instant Pot, even an Instant Pot, but fashion related deals, lifestyle things, toys, Lego sets, anything that goes on sale, we're going to be covering it. The best tech deals,
right?
Oh yeah, 24/7. Yeah,
are you live streaming how much you're working this year? Do we get to show up in the middle of the night and see your poor tired faces working hard?
Yeah, we will have, there will be internal videos that you can do that. And then we also this year, to do something a little different, we opened up a Discord channel.
Oh, fun.
Discord server. So there's a link on iMore.
Okay.
So we've opened up a couple rooms. One that is just pumping out the the Black Friday deals. So that's just taking the Thrifter Twitter stream and pumping it right in there. Then there's a couple different rooms which are like people who are interested in deals and people are hunting deals and posting about like stuff that they want to see go on sale in there, and then stuff that they do see go on sale in there. So it's a way that we can interact a little bit more personally with everyone out there, because it's not always easy to do. And Twitter is great at times and for some things, but on a big event like this, it's not the best. So we definitely welcome you to come hang out with us in there. Like I said, there's links for that on iMore to join that. There's a couple hundred people in there who are already creating some great discussions about different deals and their wish lists and helping other people find the deals that are on their wish list. So it's very cool to see.
Like a little community interaction for finding the best deals. I like that.
Yeah, we've done live chats in the past, and they, on a 24-hour, we're working around the clock. So some of those hours, between like 2 and 6 a.m., there's not a whole lot of activity because there's not as many people as crazy as us to be awake during those times. Some people like that thing called sleep, but we don't do very much of it this time of the year. So we're constantly hunting those deals, and then you'll find the best ones on the iMore homepage and a slightly wider selection on imore.com/deals.
Sweet. Well, there you go.
Perfect. And we'll link those on the show notes too.
Yeah, so there will be tons of it. And if you don't see something and you see it on sale, please @Thrifter Daily on Twitter, let us know about it. And we will be glad to get it ready for you.
And don't sell Dan. No matter what the offer, do not sell Dan.
No. Yeah, we've not had too many offers.
Off.
So.
30% off Dan. 40%.
It's an auction in the Discord.
It's an auction. Starting the bid at $1.
No bids. What?
I'd bid on Dan. I'd take that action.
We'll keep our whole team. We can't afford to lose any of them. Too valuable.
Oh, well, I hope they heard you say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining us and talking about all the fun stuff coming up next week.
Yes, the next week shall be a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Thank you for being here, sir.
See you. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck this season. Save some money.
Yeah, right. Not after you did that to us, sir.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, Jared.
Oh, good. He's gone. We can talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
Back to shopping.
Now you know, listeners. So should we talk about what do we got in Apple news? Because I know there's Pokemon Let's Go to talk about, but I don't know if we want to start with that.
Laura's got a new watch band.
Oh gosh, while we were just chatting, I put it on. So I know that not everybody is watching, but look,
it's such a beautiful red.
It is this gorgeous deep red. It
could be.
It has a little weave in it that maybe it's like a gray, or no, it's more like, okay, so the band is like a bright red, and the weave pattern, you know how all of the Apple Watch Sport Loop has a little bit of a multicolor weave in it.
Yeah, call it Velcro by law, but yeah.
but the weave has just the littlest bit of a brick red to it. So it kind of adds a little kind of depth to the band. The
website does not do this band justice.
It almost looks pink on the website, right?
It looks pink on the website. It looks like a very like a washed out sort of like a pale red. But seeing it on your hand, and
even the box actually doesn't do the band color justice.
The band is a rich, beautiful, like what is that? Red velvet cake red is what it looks like.
Now I want to eat my Apple Watch.
It's beautiful, and I'm certainly eyeballing it now.
Yeah, and proceeds go to
the product
red. Thank you. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Renee, can you talk a little bit about ARM? Can you talk about your ARM a little?
Tell us about your ARM.
My arm, it's covered in Apple Watch stuff too.
Not that arm.
No, ever since the iPad Pro came out and it has that A10 X, Apple keeps making me want to call it, sorry, A12 X, not A1210, because they programmed me to say every X has a 10. The A12X processor, which benchmarks, around the same as a MacBook Pro, it's renewed all the chatter around when is Apple going to do the move to ARM, because a long time ago, Apple used Motorola processors, and then they moved to PowerPC. And then Steve Jobs famously said that OS X was running a double life, and they'd always been building it for Intel as well as PowerPC. And so a lot of people now are wondering, is it living a third life? And is it also being built for ARM? And is Apple going to transition to their own custom silicon so that they're no longer hobbled by Intel's increasingly faltering roadmap, but sort of accelerated by what Apple is able to do with its own custom silicon? And so I put together a brief 20-minute video, sort of showing Apple's history of transitions, the rumors to date about the ARM Mac, and then several paths that Apple could go through, including, making x86, increasing the coprocessors, switching to ARM but using Intel coprocessors, or just going all in on ARM. And it's a 20-minute video, so it's too long to get into here. It is too much, so I will sum up. But I think it's...
Yeah, give us a sum up.
It's super interesting just to see where Apple's gone from zero to faster than almost anyone else in the industry when it comes to making chipsets. And when you toast up that iPad Pro, just thinking about what it could do, like a MacBook Air with that chip in it, or a MacBook, 12-inch MacBook with that chip in it, instead of the really kind of depressing Core M series that has in it right now. I think it's not a matter of when anymore, but or not even a matter that they're going to do it anymore. A little bit when, but mostly how. I'm really eager to see how they manage it. I think that'll be super interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And what's your estimate if you could?
If I was a gambling person.
If you're a gambling person, how soon do you think we'll see it?
I think this kind of stuff is hard because they're doing it, and it just when they're happy with it, they'll release it. They could be happy with it as soon as next year because Cannon Lake's still no closer to shipping than it was 3 years ago when it was supposed to ship. But I think my guess is they'll do it similarly to how they did the Intel transition. And at WWDC, they'll announce that they're doing it and give developers a heads up so that they have time, because a major platform shift, it has to start with developer support, because you want your apps to be there when the new products ship. And then they'll announce, previously they announced like a 2-year window to switch to Intel, and they were done way faster than that. But I think they'd still give themselves a year or two. So maybe starting 2019, 2020, and finishing 2021, 2022.
That seems so far away.
But it'll be, yes, we'll be on the show again in like 2 years going, I can't believe we're here.
Right.
Oh, is that Henry flying by on a Roomba?
Oh my Lord, you've got my future voice down so perfectly. There was
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, Tim. Tim, so let's talk about there's another sort of thing going around about how, well, if I want to get my MacBook repaired and I have the T2 chip, then that means that I'm not going to be able to get it repaired because I'll go to a shop and they won't be able to repair it without, making it so that there's, hardware-based tamper protection. Can you talk a little bit more about that? I think there was some FUD busting essentially that you did there.
Yeah, so I mean, people are always concerned, and I think rightly concerned, because when things change, like there was a story going around this morning about how Microsoft is putting ads into Windows Mail, and Tom Warren from The Verge said, "Don't worry, it's an A/B test." And I'm like, "No, worry, because you don't want ads in your mail, and now's the best time to tell them you don't want them." So I think it's always good for people to worry and express their concerns so that people do hear about them. And one of the concerns is the T2 chip, which is in a lot of Macs now. It's in the MacBook Pro, the MacBook Air, the Mac Mini, and the iMac Pro. It's a security chip. And what Apple wants to do is make Macs as secure as iOS devices. And one of the things it does is provide, Touch ID security, including making sure that the price that you're seeing is a price that you're paying, so that people can't show you one price and charge you another. It handles a full disk encryption. It also makes sure that the hardware integrity is there, so that, for example, someone can't just take the parts out of your computer, put in new parts, and get past all your security, which is almost like a tamper-proofing. But some repair shops are worried that that means they won't be able to do all the repairs they used to, because it is impossible it is impossible to distinguish between a repair and an attack. Like if someone takes your laptop and swaps in a different drive controller and can suddenly get access to your drive, that's impossible for anyone to distinguish from someone repairing, like swapping out that part because it's defective. So what Apple's doing is using software to guarantee the integrity before it turns all that security back on. And that software is only available if you're certified by Apple, because if that software gets out, then it's the same thing as having no security. So it's led to a little bit of concern. And what Apple's doing, as far as I understand it, is that you can still replace a lot of those parts, but if it ever fails a security check, it basically turns off Touch ID. So that you then have to use an iPhone or an iPad to authorize Apple Pay. And that sort of it defaults back. Like you lose some of the security protection that you would have. And some people are like, that's stupid. But if you're crossing a border and customs steals your laptop, and you're a journalist, you know, and they just, we're taking this laptop, open it up, put in something else, suddenly they have all your files. That's terrible too. So
is it permanent, or is it just like a temporary disabled? So like you can re-register,
or you can until you take it to Apple and they run it through those diagnostics, and they would probably change out the part anyway, because they have no idea. Like we've seen all these concerns about, you know, China has put these hardware chips on to spy on everybody, and someone could easily take a board out and put a board in with that spy chip on it. And with a T2 chip, it would say, sorry, something has changed. We can no longer guarantee security. Where if that was not enabled, it'd just be like, oh, hi, new part. How are you? Let's play. So there's two sides to this. There's absolutely two sides, and both of them are right. You just can't have them both at the same time. It's security versus convenience. And the only thing I can say is that, like, if you don't like this, it's important to tell Apple and not buy it from them. Sort of like Raspberry Pi is the most open computer you can get, but it's also important to have an alternative for people who do want high-level security. And then you have a range of Windows vendors in between. And yeah, it sucks you can't get Apple with like Apple II level of openness anymore, but they're really staking their claim on security and privacy as a differentiator. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the brand at this point.
Yeah.
So my thing is that, and this is where Lori Gill and I are going to meet in the middle, I hope, is that there's this huge right to repair movement. And I really think that this is super important. But I think being too extreme on either side is problematic, because a lot of the people who are extreme about right to repair just happen to own repair shops. So, and they sell their own products, and that's totally cool. But you definitely have an agenda there too. What I think is that we have to have fair repair. And that means that if a company, like, you either have to have complete openness of repair, which a lot of vendors do, or if you say we're putting this security system in place, it then becomes incumbent on you to make sure the parts and the software are available to everyone who's certified to use it the day those computers ship. It can't be like, oh, you broke your iMac Pro and we don't have parts for it. Not acceptable. Yeah, you have to have accessible, reliable, and affordable, if not at cost, and close to cost, because you're asking people to compromise on convenience to use your parts. You've just got to do like a A+ gold standard job on taking care of them.
And I think with right to repair, we also, like for me, as a person who, I like to tinker, I like to be able to fix things myself, but I don't want it to ever be at the expense of creating a high quality, super svelte, super, well-designed product. And I think that that's sort of like I've seen that argument, particularly with Apple, where I think that they've gotten better about this, but certainly in the past, there was a whole heck of a lot of glue and things sort of being held down and unable to be adjusted or changed.
And screws that are specific to Apple only, that you can't just go buy the screwdriver for. Apple is actually kind of the worst at repairability. Renee, I think you and I kind of are at a meet in the middle under this circumstance, which is, I think we as the consumer do have the right to make the decision to make our products less secure. But I also think that it needs to be understood what we're doing when we do that. So if I want to take my iPad Pro my MacBook Air into a repair shop that is not an authorized Apple dealer, I should have the right to do that. But I should also there should be information so that I can understand what it means that, that this makes my device less secure, and what that means to be less secure. Not just, well, now someone can steal your MacBook Air, but actually now somebody might be putting in a nefarious spy chip. And I think that's it's important for us to kind of, we should have the right to repair, but we should also be able to easily find information about what that means when we do tamper with our own products. So that's kind of, I don't think anybody should be going around putting in, or just like replacing a very secure chip with a less secure chip. But I also think that we do have the right to do that if we want to.
Totally. The one area where I think there needs to be not certification, but there needs to be some sort of regulation is batteries, because we've literally seen people's houses burn down because they got a cheap battery replacement that couldn't take a current. So I think like for a lot of stuff, it's perfectly safe. For batteries, I think there should be some sort of licensing or regulation if you're going to be in charge of putting literal explosives into people's electronics.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's dangerous, physically dangerous, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
I don't have anything further to say about this. I genuinely I want it to be I want to find the happy medium where if I want to put in new RAM, I can do that, but not at the expense of having a super clunky device that, because they have to make everything able to be removed and taken apart
out of socket
together. Yeah, I don't want that. Now, I will say too, even Apple's less repairable products, aren't completely unrepairable if you know what you're doing. And in fact, right before my partner left for Australia, I replaced his battery in his laptop, in his Mac laptop, and it took some work and it took several hours to do it, but it was doable, and it was. That's
great that you did it, though. That can be really scary sometimes when you're working. I can say personally, I don't ever repair anything physical on my Apple products because I'm very intimidated by that. So the fact that you just went for it is really, that's a great first step to just kind of fixing things for yourself. And I think that's really awesome that you repaired the battery or replaced the battery yourself, because I know that. There's just, it's not, you can't just open up the back end of it, pull out the old battery, put in the new battery. There's so much more involved, and it makes for a better quality product, but it also limits your ability to just like someone like me, or even you, though you did figure it out, to just go ahead and do something like that. Just replace it. Done, replaced, new battery, didn't have to take it in, didn't have to pay any money, didn't even have to sign up for any kind of, Apple will have their iPhone battery replacement program that you don't have to pay $49 or whatever to get your iPhone, but you have to sign up for it. You have to go in and make an appointment. So the fact that you were able to do this with just at home, it's promising for me to know that means that the potential is there for somebody like me who really knows nothing about kind of tinkering with your Apple products.
Yeah, and it's actually gotten easier with newer MacBooks. I can't speak for the ones that I'm talking like 2015 models. I can't speak for the new round of MacBooks, but way back when, this MacBook Pro that he had, essentially you had to take everything out of the chassis. So that's what made it last so long, is that the motherboard had to come out, the speakers had to come out, everything within the thing had to come out, and that is because the glue that was being used at the time was not the easy remove strips that they have now. And so you had to put in a solvent that actually would break down that glue in order to get the battery out. So you can't have anything in it, because then that would possibly ruin it. The solvent would ruin it. So it was kind of fun. I have photos of the whole thing all out and about. And I made the joke that it's I could just stop here and I could mount this all on a photo, on a frame, and hang it on the wall. And he's like, no, I kind of need the computer. And I'm like, okay, fine. But it would have been kind of it was cool seeing everything taken out of it. And then it's also the other benefit of that is that you can clean it very well before you put it back together. So it was super clean, super fresh, new battery, a lot of fun for me to do. And I've used iFixit to replace and repair iPhone stuff before, but this was my first laptop repair using their kit, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, a lot of work. But that's again where I am in terms of as we talked about repairability, because there's one example. I have this old school Kindle, and a long time ago, I was still using it at the time, and the battery just went bad. And I was able to go on Amazon and find a replacement battery, take it apart, pop that in, and it was much easier than doing the MacBook. But now I still have that Kindle. I don't use it anymore because I have a newer one, but I thought about, oh, I'll just give this to somebody. Well, they don't sell the battery anywhere anymore. So now it's just completely kaput. And I feel bad about it because it's like, this is this device that at the time cost a whole lot of money, and it could be going to someone's use, but because there's no battery to replace it, that kind of stinks. And it does make you wish, like, I want to find the happy medium there too, because how long should a company be required to keep these old school parts in stock versus, letting that go and letting a product die?
They become super expensive too. Like when people start making 32 gigabyte DIMMs, it gets hard to get 16 gigabyte DIMMs anymore because they just stop making them. And when they do have to make them, it's expensive because they're not making them in volume anymore. And it just
So there's
at the cost of the past. It's horrible.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that there is certainly a good middle ground, and I think that we are seeing, certainly thoughts being put in different ways, because with a new Mac Mini, for example, the RAM is right there and easily replaced.
SODIMMs.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of times now, the batteries inside of these devices are a lot easier to remove and replace if need be. And despite being, still, I think, getting a 4 out of 10 on repairability from iFixit, the MacBook Air, the most recent MacBook Air, is a lot more repairable than previous MacBook Airs. So.
I just had this picture in my head of Micah walking through a computer junkyard with Henry just trailing behind him. And he takes the MacBook Air aside, picks up another one, finds a battery he wants, dusts it off, pulls it out, throws it in the backpack, and then just keeps walking.
Is he wearing some post-apocalyptic outfit too?
I hope so. And Henry sniffs it so that he can go, and he goes one way and I go the other. We find it.
Yes.
That'd be great. You want to talk about what's in your hand right now? I saw that. That was very sly. I love that. For listeners who are not watching the video, Lori has a little Pokemon ball, or a Pokeball, in her hand, and she sort of brushes her eyebrows like she was scratching it. Totally not scratching it. She was like, look at this. Look at this. Tell us about it.
So this is the Pokeball Plus. I wanted to make sure I got the name right. The Pokeball Plus is a small silicon feeling. I think it's plastic, but it seems like it has a bit of it's like a soft plastic coating, possibly silicon coating. And it's a controller for your Nintendo Switch. Now, out of the gate, Nintendo has said that the Pokeball Plus will only work with Pokemon Let's Go on Nintendo Switch, but it also works with Pokemon Go on your iPhone. But it is an actual controller. If you, for anyone listening, not watching, there's a joystick where if you're imagining what a Pokeball looks like, there's that little button that you would press if you were a gym leader, or if you were a Pokemon trainer. There's the button you would push, and that would kind of throw the ball out to catch the Pokemon. Well, on the Pokeball Plus, it's a little joystick that you can use to walk around, and when you press on it, you can catch your Pokemon with it. Oh, it just lit up.
It's so cute.
And you can use it with Pokemon Go on your iPhone. I believe also on Android. It works the same way Renee, maybe you can help me remember the name of
Pokemon
the band.
Go Plus.
Pokemon Go Plus, which is a wristband that you can catch Pokemon with without even having to open your phone. This does the same thing. It'll vibrate when you're near a Pokemon, and you press it, and it'll just catch it, just the same way that a Pokemon Go Plus wristband would.
And it'll spin Pokestops automatically, which the Go Plus will not do. You got to still press the button for that like an animal.
Okay, yeah, so this will just catch them automatically.
It won't catch them. It'll spin automatically, catch manually, but the other one is both manual.
There we go. Thank you, Renee,
yes.
for the differences.
It's super confusing. I don't know why they do it that way, but it is.
Yeah. So if anybody is a current player of Pokemon Go, there are still millions of them out there who are active players of Pokemon Go, the mobile game. This is a great Christmas present. I think it's $49. I'll look up the price and link that in the show notes. But it is also a great controller for playing Pokemon Let's Go, which just came out today on Nintendo Switch. So again, if you have a Pokemon fan in your life, and they have a Nintendo Switch, getting them Pokemon Let's Go is a great game. And this controller to go with it is a really good combination. Also, I have a feeling that it's going to support other games in the future. And so you might be able to play, let's say, the Animal Crossing Animal Crossing game that will come out on Nintendo Switch in, I believe, 2019. Wouldn't that be so fun to walk around playing with this?
Yes.
Can I send you shinies now, Lori Gill? Is that okay? Can we do that yet?
Yes, please. I haven't hooked up. I haven't connected my accounts yet, but you've sent me gifts already. Yeah. So all of these things will all be dumped into Pokemon Let's Go on Nintendo Switch that you've given me. And yes, I want all of your shinies so that I can add them to my game and play them.
Awesome.
Well, that's exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Last but not least, maybe, unless you folks have some other things you want to talk about, breaking news, the new iPad Pro bins if you bend it.
So does last year, so does the years before, so does the years before that.
It's weird. If you bend something, it bends.
I mean, especially if it's made out of lightweight aluminum material.
Metal bends, glass breaks, plastic cracks, and ceramics shatters.
Wait, so what? Renee, are you sure?
It's science.
There is a video now going around. This video usually does like drop tests and things like that, and also I guess bend tests. And now there's like a GIF or a GIF or an if you're an A and don't say the G at all. And it is showing the guy taking his hand on one side and the other side of the iPad, putting his thumbs on the back and then bending it. And because I guess, is that like the microphone there? There's like a microphone hole or some sort of hole that's sort of right in the middle of the frame of the device. It looks like it's sort of a nice bendy point where it makes it easier to bend and break. How did Zach do this before
unbox? That's all I want to know is how did Zach get to this before
how did he beat unbox therapy to bending? That's what I was thinking too. Regardless, yeah, that's what this is. It's just showing that the iPad Pro can bend. And this stuff makes me sad because it's like, it just reminds me about like how materialistic humans can be and how like we're very privileged here in the United States, especially, and I don't know, in countries where you can make a lot of money for doing things as simple as bending and breaking something. I mean, this is a very expensive device. This is something
he breaks an Apple Pencil too.
See, okay, like
that hurts.
That's so much money that just is broken and destroyed, and it's fine for him because he's going to make probably more money on the video for it than he spent on the device. But there's something just really gross about that, and I think about people who are not as well off and who could never afford something like this, and then we just take it and do this with it, and that's what bothers me. It's not the fact that, like, because I think there is something to be said for, hey, be careful with this $1,000 device that you just bought, especially because this might be a weak point, you know, because the microphone hole is there or whatever. But there's also something like not to be said, I guess, is the opposite of that, for just like so carelessly breaking something that costs so much money and it's like not a big deal. Ugh.
Yeah, so I think what you're getting at, what I understand, is that iFixit will take apart a device. They will take every little piece apart from it.
They will vivisect it.
They will vivisect it. But they're doing it for educational purposes so that, number one, we can see all the little parts inside and what, you know, their chip names and their manufacturers and things like that. But to help us fix things ourselves and understand our technology. So they will destroy an iPad Pro, an Apple Pencil, but they do it in the name of education. Mm-hmm. And in this particular case, it's doing it in the name of destruction, which I'm not going to lie, I'm really enjoying him tearing apart this stuff. But you're right. It's really just, it's excessive, which is kind of the unfortunate product of our culture, is that we can do things like that without, you know, considering the fact that, like, there's somebody out there who probably could really use something like that, and they'll never be able to afford it. And he just destroyed it for no reason, just to destroy it. So,
to destroy it. Yeah. So that's perfectly put. And too, with iFixit, taking something apart, then they learn every single piece that's inside. They order it for their store, and then you can buy it from their store and repair and replace and fix yours if it's something that's repaired, replace, or fixable. And so I like that. I like that is a place where I can go and know, okay, well, if my speaker ever goes out in my MacBook Pro, I can order a replacement left speaker from iFixit. Whereas like this is just shock and awe. But unfortunately, if Georgia Dow were here, she'd tell you about how shock and awe is sort of something that us humans are attracted to. And so there's going to be lots of views on this, and that will continue to make this it will reinforce that this is a good idea, I guess.
I had a MacBook Pro bend just by me running Adobe Flash on it and getting so hot that the metal worked. I'm not even joking.
Oh, you're not joking?
Wow.
No.
That Adobe.
Oh
man.
my God. I thought that was a joke. That's horrifying.
The keyboard became unstable. I had to take it in, and they replaced it under Apple Care.
Oh my word. Wow. Well, yeah. I think, does that do it for us this week, folks?
I'm done, dude.
I want to go play Pokemon Let's Go, so stop talking.
Let's go. Let's get out of here. Of course, if you're looking for Georgia Dow online, you can follow her on Twitter at Georgia_Dow. You can also send her an email at georgia@imore.com, or you can check out anxiety-videos.com. If you're dealing with anxiety issues, depression, boundary issues, if you want to learn about being more emotionally intelligent, there are some new videos there for that. Awesome stuff. Lori Gale, if people are looking for you online, where can they find you?
I'm still watching this jerry rig everything video right now. He's using an X-Acto knife to just scrape up the sides and back of an iPad Pro. It actually, I was enjoying it at first just because I thought it was kind of fun to see this, but now I just feel like I'm watching a snuff video. It's awful.
Isn't that kind of what it's like?
Yeah. Whew. Okay, I'm looking away now. You can find me at Appleaholic, that's APPAHOLIK on Twitter, and you can find me at Lori Gill and most of the other social things, and you can find me writing on iMore all about Pokemon Let's Go today.
Sweet. Renee Ritchie, if people are looking for you online, where can they find you?
At Renee Ritchie on all of the social things, imore.com/vector for my almost daily column, and youtube.com/vector show for the videos that go with it.
Awesome. If you're looking for me online, you can find me at Micah Sargent on Twitter, or you can head to chihuahua.coffee. That's CHIHUAHUA.coffee for links to all the stuff that I do. You can find writing from all of us over at imore.com. I want to thank you all so much for listening. I want to thank Jim Metzendorf for editing the show and making us sound fantastic.
Jim.
Thank you, Jim. We will, of course, be back next week with more. But until then, I hope you all have a great week or weekend, depending on when you're listening to this. And until next time, this has been The iMore Show.